I am live. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. So many people already here. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, I have got crochet. I am doing something. Not much yet. Oh my goodness, look at everybody there. I can see so many names that are here every week. Welcome, welcome, all of you. It's just so lovely that you are here week after week and that we get to meet up every week again. Now, I hope it wasn't too confusing. Thank you, Valeska. Yes, I get very surprised every time I see it's going so long now, isn't it? um, I hope you weren't too confused by, of course, we have changed. We have changed last night, so we sort of fell back an hour, but of course I don't know whether you have either. Okay, so whether you have as well, so hopefully YouTube had the timing there correct for you and you managed to find it and you're not an hour late. But then there you go, you can catch up, and that's the good thing about it. Yes, you're not here live, but you can catch up. Right, so I'm going to try and answer some questions, but yes, this today it will be about some confessions of a crochetaholic. More an insight into how I work mainly, because of course you're doing the cal, of course. Here is my cal, it's finished, and of course, what am I doing now? Shall I own up to what I'm doing or not? Wow, I know. Oh, hi, Rena. I'm sorry you have to go, but glad you could say hello. I know. Oh, is it buffering? But I've got my thing in. Hopefully it should be okay. Yes, so hang on. The first week of the cal, right? We made an extra project. I've got them in here. And that was pumpkins. Yeah. So before I say anything else, try the projects out, but don't use too much of your yarn from the cal. Okay, you need to make sure you keep the cal yarn for the cal. Okay, and if you if you really want to make them, hold on making them until you've finished your blanket, so you've got enough yarn. There should be enough. I had quite a bit left. The testers had a bit left, so you should be fine. But just in case, okay, so use your anything that you have, or there we go, a pumpkin. Okay, so that's the one that we made first week. Then last week we made oak leaves, and I've not got one. I've used them for something else. See, I am already doing what I'm going to do with them, and they're all been used. So I haven't been able to make another one because I've used them up. Yeah. So some of the things that we're making would make lovely appliques, but of course, yes, that's not what we're doing. We're just making a couple of things for I know I keep calling it interior decoration, garland, but really it's going to be some sort of interior decoration piece, okay? So it's growing. It grows during the weeks that that I change my mind every week. Then, so first we made the pumpkin, then the leaf, and this week, yes, we are making mushrooms. So, I am, hang on, where are they? Here we go. Look, there's a mushroom that I've made. Okay, because when I went when I went walking in the woods, I found all these funny mushrooms. So I thought, oh wow, Chloe, is it snowing? Oh, that's wonderful. So there we go. So this week we're making a mushroom as an extra thing, but I already had this one, and I made this actually quite a long time ago. I made this quite, when I was doing the t-shirt yarn to start with. And this is nearly the same pattern as this. I think actually it's the same pattern as this one. But look at the difference. Just because you change the yarn. I have a visitor. Okay, so you can turn the mushrooms I'm showing you on Friday. You can turn them quite easily into toadstools just by changing the color and doing little blobs. Okay, but look how this is the same as this, but the size is very different because this is DK and this is, hang on Janie, and this is t-shirt material. Unbelievable. Look, same pattern. Anyway, lipstick, Janie. Lipstick is the red. Try that one. Lipstick, and if you want it a little bit more muted, try tomato. I love those two colors. Tomato, no, for this, these are exactly the same pattern. These are exactly the same pattern. That's not a cat, that's Layla, yes. Okay. Janie, you, where was that? Oh, yeah. Starcraft Special Decay washes very well. It washes up so well. The only thing is, because I use just my normal washing powder, my pod, and then I use vinegar instead of a fabric conditioner, when it comes out of the machine, you think you've ruined it. It feels really, really strange. But once they still do that, Babs, indeed, yes, they still do that. But once you actually dry it, and I never dry them in a dryer, I always put them on an airer, it becomes so soft. Really, really soft. Recently, what did I wash again? A couple of blankets and like a poncho and stuff, and it came out and it was really hard and everything, and I was like, oh no. But then by the time it was dry, it was really, really soft. So there we go. So yeah, so this and this is the same pattern, and it's about the same pattern for the mushroom, so you can change the colors and you will have toadstools instead of mushrooms. So yes, then somebody asked just now before we started how you prioritize your WIPs, basically your works in progress, because obviously we can never be doing just one project, can we? There's always sort of a longer term project, then there's a little thing that you make, and then there's another project, so how do you prioritize that? Because, very often I am working on a lot of projects as well. And of course, for me, the way I prioritize is the videos. I need to do certain things by certain times to be able to, film it, or to be able to film that part by the time I have time to film. So it's all it's all, how should I say it? Prioritizing depending on timing. If you need a project for a present, you'll just have to make sure you've got it finished by the date that you need the present for, you know? That's my mama. Dag mama. Dag mama. Do you know what I mean? Mainly, obviously, it doesn't matter how many projects you have, as long as you keep them organized. Okay, so make sure that if you do put a project on the shelf, let's put it that way, for a little while, and you're not working on it, but you're starting something else, make sure you remember the hook size, you keep the yarn together, make sure you keep the pattern on there, so you need to make sure you've got everything together, but it's just prioritizing, in depending on when you need them, but also maybe on what you like doing best. If you like that stitch better than the other, then, you might finish that one quicker, then you'll have to do the other one. Okay. I see somebody else asking a question about the post I did in dag papa. He's there. My dad's there as well. So hi, Daddy. The post I did with the the packs, suggesting color packs. Now, obviously, I have no products in my shop apart from the yarn cal and the hooks and the patterns, basically. Okay. So, I need to put another project in. I need to put another product in my shop. Okay. So I have videos where I'm making a Cath Kidston blanket. I know a lot of you are interested in those colors or like those colors. So, it would maybe make sense if you could buy the pack. I did Orla Keely colors. Do you remember the skirt I made with Orla Keely? And I did, I think, a blanket as well in Orla Keely colors. So, you want to make sure that, it's a, how should I say it? It's a colorway that's out there, right? So I just wanted to put those in my shop for people if they would be interested in that. And also, of course, I already have the videos. So if you were interested in that colorway, if you were interested in, do you know what I mean? So it's easy for you to buy them. But of course, yes, I am thinking ahead as well. I want to put a rainbow pack in there as well, just in case. Everybody loves the rainbow colors. So, so I was just asking people, would it be handy if would you buy them, basically? The way we are having to sell the yarn is in packs because there's no, we can't sell you one ball because it would not be economical for you nor for us. So it would make sense if I made packs. And then if you have that pack, you can just buy it and look at those videos that are already on my channel and just start. So yes, Marla, I had a great response to the packs, and we are still selling them. And I am going to order more. So I have more packs, and I will have the Orla Keely pack as well. And then in a few weeks, I'll have the Cath Kidston pack and so on. So I am going to, sort of expand the range of just a few packs. But then, of course, hopefully soon, there will be the new cal, but of course that's for next year. Okay. Yes, so Sharon, that's the problem, you see, for these shawls. Actually, I'm going to tell you something. Right, so we made the wraparound Woodbury Castle shawl. Yeah, we made this, and guess what? There's a third one coming out soon. There's a third project coming out, okay? And to be honest, if I was to put all those balls together, you would probably have, a pack of 15 or 16 balls that you could buy. But that would set you in the colors that I've made them, the copper, the lime, and a third color, okay, for that third project. So that's sort of, yes, I like the colors, but I don't know whether you would like the colors. So I don't know whether that would work. Do you know what I mean? So I know I want to be a web shop, but I have my limitations, and I am going to I'm going to be mainly offering packs of colors that you would either have to put together or cals. Okay, so yes, yes, this is my pocket shawl. It came out yesterday, and I've made it short. There's a load still at the back. I'm starting to feel really hot now because I'm wearing this, but it's a really long pocket shawl. It's lovely to have on. So it's a shawl that goes around your neck and then down on the other side with another pocket. And look at these tassels. They are more samba than an actual samba. Woohoo! I've been watching Strictly, sorry. The video quality has probably dropped because I'm doing my samba. Yes, you will have to. Who's that, Genevieve? Oh, you will have to keep an eye on your count. Make sure you stick to your count. Yes, all of you in my Ophelia Talks wearables. Imagine if I was to go to a city and all of a sudden I would see someone walking past with, oh, that's my pocket shawl. Oh, there's the Woodbury Castle shawl. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, if only I could see all of you. You could all be wearing them. Pirate Cove ponchos. Oh, that's a good one. Shall we dance? But yeah, I am really loving this shawl, and the way I made it, I changed my mind because while I was making it, I thought, possibly MSD, possibly. So I've changed the pattern around so that you can make it any length. So it should be really easy to just keep doing, and you'll be able to do that. Yes, just having a think about it. Yeah, the Orla Keeley pack does contain double of certain colors, so you can do the border with it. Indeed. Another bag, Penny. I'm not sure. The thing is, you see, you have to for a bag, you can't really use Starcraft. You have to use something like the cord or the t-shirt yarn, to make it a proper stand-up bag, like with the cal. I could make a floppy bag, but we'll see. Yeah, or cotton. Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't, you sort of, certain projects require certain yarn, and at the moment, I'm trying to keep it as much as possible with the DK Starcraft. I like the Woodbury Castle shawl, I used not much, Christine. He doesn't have much influence over me. No. With the Woodbury Castle shawl, I used a hook that was too big for the yarn to get a lacy effect. I could have used a different yarn, but I didn't, because I want to make things easily accessible for you. Okay, so making projects in just DK is much more easily accessible than going and getting cord or t-shirt yarn or whatever, all the different kinds of cotton. Then it's much more sensible to get something that you can easily obtain. Now, yes, there is Red Heart acrylic. There is another one from Red Heart which is a little bit thinner, and so that is Starcraft. So Starcraft in the US is a 3-weight, Julie says, right? So you use a 4 hook normally. I use a 3.5. So you could possibly look it up, to see what would compare. But I think, isn't it Red Heart Soft or something that is the same as this? So Red Heart is thicker. The normal Red Heart is thicker. Is Starcraft DK thicker than 3? It's so confusing, isn't it? Why can't they all just use the same? So I guess some people now have used Starcraft for the very first time because you've bought the pack from me. Do you like it? Is it softer? Is it thinner? Karen Simply Soft is a thin. Okay. So yeah, it's it's you get used to what you can, you get used to it, and even though it's thinner, it's what we are used to. And yes, thank you, Aleska. So yeah, I mean, we make our blankets in these, just like we are with the cowl, but I can understand that some of you are used to making blankets with thicker, because a lot of the Americans I see are using like a 5 or a 5.5 or a 6 hook, which is something that we would never use, because it would be well, not for a blanket anyway, because it would be, you could shoot peas through it, basically. Here we go again with my expressions, mama. The arrow to the door schieten, eh? So that's what I wanted to obtain with that Woodbury Castle shawl, and it's so soft and it's so malleable, it's so lacy. So that's how you can change, the way yarn is. You can amend, change the hook and then amend how it looks. Yes, Starcraft Chunky is nice as well, but the only problem with that is, well, there's several problems. My wholesaler doesn't sell it. I do not know why. There's limited amount of colors. So they don't do, this one, Starcraft DK, has like 90 colors now. I think there's about, and I'm not sure about this, if I say 45, then it's probably too many. So there's not all the colors available in Chunky. And yes, Yvonne, isn't it funny? Shoot peas through it. and guess you would need that chevron blanket. Do you remember videos years ago? I made a chevron blanket in Starcraft Chunky for my son. It was white, blue, copper, purple, I used, I think about, double the amount of balls that you would normally. So I bought 1 pack and I had to buy a 2nd pack of yarn. So, it was it ended up being a really expensive blanket because it was so thick. Yeah, I mean, I was making stitches. It was really chunky and I went for it and it was so heavy as well. So yeah, I mean, it was a good experiment and he loves that blanket, but to be honest, it just made it so heavy. And yes, I had to buy a second pack. I bought one pack because it was meant for knitting. And then I was crocheting it and the blanket was not even halfway finished when I went through my first pack. So I had to buy a second pack. So that's the only problem with, with the chunky, the colors and the fact that you will need a lot more balls. Okay, so yeah, so the comparison is different, isn't it? Bye, Adeline. Good night. Okay, so I am crocheting. I am crocheting. You can't say that I'm not. Oh wow, Shirley, that sounds wonderful. Yes, I do have to say I wear that Woodbury Castle shawl. I wear it quite a lot because excuse me, because when I wrap it around, it just stays and it's just so nice to Yes, that's the problem. Some of these shops have seasonal offers, and then if you don't buy enough, then you might not have enough for the project that you had in mind, and then you can't go back to it. So that's the problem, isn't it? I mean, Genevieve, you've got to make your decision, right? Have you got some extra stitches? Maybe you can slowly take them out, sort of do some together or skip some more so that you've got less stitches that you're going back to the original one. Or yes, take it out, go through that, but also know then that that you are right then. I generally I give myself a limit to how many rows I take out. And also, yeah, I mean, it's hard to compare because I do have to take it out if it's going to be in a video, if I'm going to be showing it off, because otherwise you might see it. So if it's for myself, I'll probably go back five rows. If it's a particular thing, I will go back. But yeah, I'm not so, how should I say it? I'm not so hung up anymore on the fact that I have to undo it. I've certainly learned that with this blanket here, with the Autumn Walk. I definitely undid a lot. I have 4 weeks of blanket up there. It's been put in the naughty corner. I have 3 weeks of blanket that I took out here. So that's 7 weeks of blanket that I did for nothing. But I've learned from that. Yes, you've got to scan every row. You've got to make sure it's all there. And just sit and count them. I know it's a long row to count, but you just do it. You just do it because otherwise you'll end up. I once, when I go somewhere with my husband, right? I always get him to drive. I'm like, no, darling, you drive. You're such a good driver, you drive. Because then I can crochet. So this was one particular day. I was doing a chevron blanket. Confessions of a Crochetaholic here. Pure confession this is, okay? Sat in the car, I was so happy. I was really, really happy because I was going to be able to crochet like 2 hours and more there, 2 hours and more back if I got my, if I got my right, if I was like, no, darling, you drive back, I was so happy and I was going for it and I was really, really going for it. But of course, you're in the car, you can't put it down. It's half dark outside, but you still keep going. And guess what I did? I added to the rows. I added to the rows and I was like, I'd done 2, 3, 4 hours work and I had done nothing but add to the rows in that last bit. I didn't stop. I just kept adding. So my blanket was like going so wide and I was like, I've wasted all this time. And of course I had to take it all out because there was no way you can go in again because of course you're doing a chevron. Okay. Oh yes, Pat, I remember you did it in chunky. I remember that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I took that out and I don't think I restarted that because I was really angry with it. But it was like I'd started, I was only this much and then I started going out. So sometimes that's what happens. And now I will take things out. I mean, there are things I can do, first to try it out and to make a small sample and, go on. But then once you start on the big blanket, for example, like this one, once once I made the decision, that was it. And it worked. It worked really well. But of course, before that, I had seven lost weeks. 7 lost weeks. That's longer than you are doing your Cal because you're doing it for 6 weeks. I've done 13 weeks of Cal. 13. The testers have done 9 weeks. Oh my God. I've got to take this scarf off. It's just too hot. I'm sorry, guys, but oh, that feels better. Whew. Yeah, so there we go. So it's really, really nice and long. Let me just put it on the side. Where shall I put it? Here. Oh, I've hung it on the lights. Hopefully they won't come down. Yeah, so yes, indeed, you've got to use stitch markers. You've got until you know what you're doing, until you're familiar with the but of course I was crocheting in the car. I wasn't watching it, I couldn't see it properly. It was all scrunched up. So yes, it's painful, but to be honest, hang on a minute, what else was it? For the Pirate Cove, I remember now, for the Pirate Cove I did a whole thing in a different stitch because in a different stitch order because I was trying to make it a bit more feminine, with waves like this, but it just wouldn't work out because then the next row and then the next row, you sort of try these things out. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to get started. And I just did it, but it just would not work out. I thought, it's okay. I'll tell him in the video. But it makes it much, much too complicated. So I tried a different way and that worked much better. And then I had so much. Actually, I frogged that one in the yarn winding video, where I'm frogging in the yarn winding. It was so painful to watch all those stitches go. Go and have a look at that video because I do tell you that that was what I was working on. It was something that I was working on and, it didn't go to plan. But you end up with such a big piece because, of course, you've got to try it out. And once you've tried out your stitches, you then also have to do the Thank you, Fran. You also have to do the making the stitches work, with the multiples and everything, and then things change again. So yeah, I just had to give up. I didn't want to give up because I loved the design, but it just did not work. Yeah. So you're then, frogging basically, and if you have to, you have to. The only thing, to be honest, the only thing you're losing is time with frogging. Yes, you spent that time making it, but you've enjoyed the crochet. So that's how I see it now. But of course, for me, it's different. It's different because, if it's for yourself, you could say, oh, that's fine. I'll just, next row, I'll put 2 stitches together and then I've lost that stitch. But for me, because I'm showing this in a video, I'm showing you that whole thing. It is important that it's correct, and it has to work out. It has to be sort of, when I get to the end of a row, I get to the end of that row. I have not cheated at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? There is the correct amount, there is the correct thing, and when I get to the end, that is what I have left. If I don't have that left, I don't film it. I undo it all and start again. So, it's got to be right. It's got to be right. So there we go. So, anything else you would like to know? Marla, is there a name for the path stitch? Yes, I tend not to sort of use the official names for the stitches because the way I explain them, they may be different. I see them as a different thing. But I think officially it's called 2 rows in 1 or something. It's like doing 2 double crochets on top of each other. So that's probably why they're saying 2 rows in 1. I have got a video on that. It came out about June time, I think. Yeah, mainly there is an official name, but I don't really. Yes, I did a tutorial on that. Yeah. I'm not really sort of hung up about the names. I just want you to enjoy what you're doing, basically. Also, next week, Yvonne, do you know, nowadays I just delete them. I used to just film, right? So you put it on and you start and you think, oh no, okay, start again, undo it, start again. But the thing is, you then end up with so much footage that when you come to edit it, Shirley, the cheek. No, I have not. Thank you very much. Asking me if I've been on a walk with my bed lately. Oh. So by the time you then come to editing, you've got so much footage and you can't find the good bits anymore. So what I do now is I turn it on. I'm ready. I film the what do you need? Turn it off. I'll think, was it okay? Did I say something wrong? I'm going to redo it. And I delete what I've got and I redo it. Because otherwise, it's just too difficult. I get too much footage, right? So the minute I say something wrong sometimes, or I can't correct myself, then I gone and away and I do a new one. Sometimes, of course, you're in it for such a long time that you can't redo it. And also if you're crocheting, you can't redo that. So now I am able to detach the voice from the image and I can reattach. So sometimes I'll just keep on crocheting and just say it again. If I've said one sentence wrong, I'll just keep going and I say it again, and then I cut out the one that I said wrong and bring the new one forward to the first piece where I should have said it. So with the filming and the editing, I'm getting better. And there's more possibilities now with, hey Trentje, there's more possibilities now with my editing software as well. So that helps enormously. But I do reduce the amount of footage. And also I don't sort of sometimes, you know, some days you're like, right, okay, in the morning, I'm getting ready and I'm already thinking, you know, I'm ready. Oh, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this. And then you sit down, you press that red button and the inside of your head goes completely to what I call mayonnaise or scrambled egg. You just can't. Recently, one video, I just said the wrong number all the time. Why? I knew it wasn't that number. It was there on a piece of paper, yet I kept saying them. You know, so sometimes, mush, yeah. Sometimes it really goes really well, and you're like, wow, I did that in one take. It doesn't happen very often. Yes, and also sometimes you're like, and now we're going to do a slip knot. Oh no, I'm doing a slip stitch. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, you undo it, you do it again. And then you say, and now we do a slip knot. I've just said the same thing again. You know? Oh my goodness, it's just. But sometimes it goes really well. So I would never be able to do a bloopers video because I don't keep them. I just don't keep them. It is easier for me to, like I said, delete anything that I did wrong and then redo it. And then when I come to editing, all I have on my phone are the good ones, you know, are the good ones there that, yes, excuse me, I might have to take something out or might have to change a sentence. If I've, you know, if it all went well and then you say one thing wrong and then, you know, but yeah, I don't really keep bloopers because it's just too much storage basically as well. I've been using that Lacy for what, since April or March. I'm more than halfway. More than halfway? No, nearly halfway in it. So, you know, I think I need to start thinking about, you know, getting another one to make sure I can keep everything. But to be honest, it has been really, really useful because I've been able to go and get stuff and reuse. I mean, not that I reuse, but, you know, for certain things, it's been really, really lovely. Ivy. It's a granny square. It's a ball of yarn that Dirk said, here, use this one. And that's it. I said I didn't have a crochet project. I have no project. This is my confession. I have no project. How can I not have a project? Yes, Fran, thank you for reminding me. So last week we oh, thank you. That's great, Stella. I really enjoyed the fact that you said that. That's great. I am glad that I give you that idea, and I hope you can do it as well. So next week we are at week 3 for the cow, and we are going to go through a gate and past some fences. Tease, tease, tease. So I'm going to do another section there, and that's going to show you another stitch. and then we go back to another version of the stitches that we are using already. So I hope you're enjoying this stitch, because it's going to come back. But no, so we're doing a section and then the whole big section. So we're sort of moving along our walk, and we're going through some gates today. Wednesday. Oh, Ivy, I know. That's, you see, how should I say this? For me, it's really hard to compare what I have to crochet with what you're doing. Okay, so you're mainly doing crochet projects maybe for a gift or for yourself, or a blanket that you want to make or something like that. Okay, but for me, of course, I am making projects for the videos and for the channel. So it's always, sort of, when was I working on the cowl? I was doing the cowl in August, September time. So I have finished it recently. Well, I've already, obviously, I finished my cowl quite a while ago, because of course I then have to start thinking about those second videos, right? So obviously I had to finish the cowl, and well, I hadn't filmed the videos by then, but I had to start working out for the second video that week. And then of course you get all these other ideas, because the Woodbury Castle shawl, that idea didn't come to me until we went to Woodbury Castle, and we sort of had a look around. We didn't film anything. We just had a look around. And then we said, okay. And then it all started working in my head. And then a week later, we were going to go and do the blanket, the filming. I did that shawl, designed, came up with the idea in a week. I mean, I had 2 days to do it. So I did it. So for me, it is completely different to what I am crocheting, why I am crocheting it, what my priorities are, because of course I'm thinking about the videos. So I can see somebody asking about Christmas crochet. I generally don't, I'm not that seasonal on my channel. I'm sorry, but because of the cowls as well, because that, doing the cowls, that's almost my season, basically. And the year that I did a Christmas special, basically, I did the Christmas special, and I didn't, I was just doing normal projects, because it takes a long time to do all those videos, obviously, because you sort of have to, So, and again, they're all different projects. They're all, So, thank you, Ivy. So I am finishing this year with all videos to do with the cowl. Okay. It's all still videos that I can link to the cowl. So for instance, we're going to put all our little makes together. We're going to make another wearable. We're going to make all kinds of things, and it all comes together with videos to do with the cowl and after the cowl. Okay, and they will all go until the middle of December. Okay, and then I have a 2-week break, and I do that every year. So around Christmas there's 2 weeks where I do not post any videos and I don't do lives, just because it's Christmas. Okay, and we all have a break. We all need some time to calm down, to enjoy being together with our family, and we start again in the new year. And this is one of my confessions. I have got big plans for the new year. I'm working on that already. So I don't have a project at the moment because I can't work on anything because I need to film. I've been working on something, but I have to film it now. So Crochet Lady, I think I've shown you them in one of the lives, or did I? Oh yeah, but my mum has them. Crochet Lady, my mum has them, and I haven't been able to go there. So when I go there, they will be filmed. When I go to my mum, I will also go. Thank you, Marquise. I will also go on that walk, of course, autumn walk, because I can't go. I can't go. I haven't been there. So, So all that is a big things for next year. Of course, if and when we go over. Okay. Where are we? Yes. I see somebody asked about great, Denise. That's wonderful. Yes, I thought start with the pockets. Start with the pockets, and then you learn the sequence, and then you'll be off doing your shawl. Yes, Karen, best to weave in as you go, or weave in weekly. Just do the 27 rows and then weave it in. You don't have to do every 3 rows or something, but just keep on top of it. But yes, in the beginning, I did tell the testers not to sew them in because I changed my mind. So it was a good thing they didn't. But, that's different. You can't compare that. If you're a tester, then, you have to be prepared to frog. You have to be prepared to do things quickly. I mean, they did it in a month. They didn't get the 6 weeks like you did. I was giving them a pattern every 5 days. So it was, that is completely different. So it works, you can't compare testers to, what am I trying to say? Leisurely. I was going to say luxurious, but probably luxurious with your time, but we didn't have that luxury. So if you're crocheting leisurely, then you can do it differently, obviously, and there is no comparison. For example, the way I do it, I'm crocheting sometimes, and I'll just keep going and then weave it all in, or it never gets woven in because of some sort of reason, but that's because what I'm doing. Sharon, you'll have to wait and see. It's a single bed size. It's going to be the length of a, hopefully, of a single bed. Well, if you're doing about 30 rows every week, how many are you going to do then? Over 5 weeks? Yes, 150. And that should be about 150 to 160 centimeters. Okay, so yes, basically, I've done all my crocheting for this year. I am starting to think about next year. And there's one really big thing that I have started thinking about, which I've put away because I think I really can't be working on this just yet. But, oh, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so slowly but surely I am starting to look at next year. And what is it? It's still October, isn't it? Yes. But of course, this is the way it goes. With the CAL, that's of course 6 weeks worth of videos which I've made, which I've done already, which are ready to go. But that's how it goes. That's how it works in my head. Do you know what I mean? Because that's all done in one go, basically. And that then puts you to what? End of November. So, and then I've got some more videos that I came up with to do with the cowl. So hopefully you'll enjoy those as well. And then of course there's another wearable coming your way. And another location to go and film as well. Right. There's been quite a few questions about doing an enclosed border. Okay. First of all, I believe that doing an enclosed border takes longer than weaving in your ends because you're making 2 borders. Yes, petrol. I think it's petrol or teal, because those 2 are really close together, aren't they? Beth, that's the problem. I should not be doing things for myself, because that then the priorities then change, and I really should be doing things for the channel that I want for myself. That's the solution. You see, like the Woodbury Castle shawl, like the pocket shawl, those are things I just loved for myself. So I made them for you as well. And that makes sense. So that is what I have to do. And that is what I have to keep on doing. Okay. So look. Patricia Richardson says, I am doing my ends now. Perfect. Why don't we do the ends during the live on Sunday evenings? Perfect. That's what I tend to do as well. If I'm not, in normal circumstances, I have one evening a week where I just do the ends. Like I said, the border, a double enclosed border, takes longer than weaving in your ends and doing a border. It takes more yarn. Okay? It takes more yarn because you do 2 sides. So if we were to do this border double, you would be doing another lot. Okay? So that would take up more yarn. You would not get there with 15 balls. Or yeah, you'd need more balls. You'd need at least 20 balls. Oh, Julie, that's really nice of you. She says you will love the border more than the double border. And indeed, I love this border. It's a really, really special border. It's really wide. Look how wide it is. If you were to do that in a double border, oh my goodness, it would take, let me think, because I started with full balls for the border and they're more than 3/4 of the way finished. So you would need 2, 2, and 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need 10 balls almost, or something like silly like that. So it does take a lot of yarn as well. So don't be, it's a lovely thing to do. It's a lovely project. It's a lovely border, but don't be fooled thinking that it's quicker and more economical, because it's not. And so that's why it is not a double border, because obviously it would take more yarn. It would also take a very long tutorial as well, because anchoring, doing the slip stitches, making sure that you have, done that, then taking up the stitches on one side of that slip stitch, taking up the stitches on the other side, yeah, indeed, just keep on top of those It is a yarn hog indeed, but just keep on top of those. I don't know what the problem is. Just weave in those ends. I mean, it's part of the whole thing. It's part of our hobby. Okay. You've done you've done the cooking. You've had your dinner, but then you don't like doing the washing up. So, what do? Tell me. What do? You don't like washing up, but every day you have to eat and you have to cook. So what do? You go out and buy new cutlery, new crockery, and new... No. I get up, I run the hot water, I fill the sink, and I do my washing up as quickly as I can, because then it's done and I can go and crochet. Just do those ends. Darling, can you see what they're saying? You should be doing the washing up. But do you know what I mean? You can't just go, yes, oh, I've still got a dishwasher, but you've still got to put it in the dishwasher. You've still got to do it. Just do those ends and get them done. Or yes, you could teach your kids to do the ends. My grandma, so Anna, she used to do my mum's ends. My grandma, she would always say, "Oh, Christian, bring me your ends. Bring me the ends. I'll put in the ends." Yes, she had a big bag. My mum had a big bag, and she just took it to my grandma, and she sewed them in. I also did that once with the Cath Kidston blanket, because I was making that for myself. Then my daughter said, "Oh, I really would like that for going to uni." And then my mum said, "Well, if you're making that for her, I'll sew in the ends, because then we've done it. Then my mum's worked on it, and then I've worked on it, and then it's been a collaboration of the two, her grandma, her mum, and then giving it to Rachel." So that was a really, really nice, yes, Alexa, if only. That was a really nice collaboration. But generally, yes, there's, it's not the most enjoyable thing to do, but just do them and put on a nice film. Yes, Sharon, exactly. Put on a nice film, put on some nice music. Yeah, once a week is not too bad. It's not too bad. Yeah, generally, I mean, and obviously, I also left my ends with the Cal. The testers left their ends, because obviously I was, in a changing mind kind of state of mind. So once I decided that was that, I said, yeah, and now you can sew in your ends. And I did them then. I did them, I think we were in week 3, and I just did them all then, because I thought I might as well just do those and then get on with it. And I did. And I think, the testers did spend whole evenings doing them. But yes, don't leave them till the end. But there was a reason for that, okay? Because I was prone to change my mind. But do you know what I mean? Yes, Karen, don't leave them until the end. Does that mean, Karen, that you have left yours? But there was a reason for it, obviously. Normally, I would not tell them not to sew them in. See? I know her. I know. Karen has just said, do not leave until the end. Big capital letters, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And I said to her, does that mean you've left them to the end? She says, yes. Well, Karen, there's nothing to it. There's nothing for it. We'll have to get together and do a weaving in session. Oh, actually, I can't. No, I can't. I can't make it this week. You'll have to do them yourself. I'm having fun here. It's too funny. there was one blanket I left. Yes. See, the Orla Keeley blanket, I left the ends because I was going to time how long it was going to take, you know? Um, I was going to time exactly how long it would take, for every, um, you know, and, for having two at each end. And then I saw the enclosed border technique and I did that instead. So in a way, but then I did think, oh my goodness, this is taking a long time. So I mean, yes, it's nice to have the enclosed border, but it does takes longer and more yarn than you might think. Sharon, what a great enterprise that would be. You could set up as a company. Yeah. Yes. You need to just keep on top of it. That's all you need to do. Weaving those ends every week or twice weekly or after so many rows, or just do it every week, and then it does not get a burden. I mean, I've left them before, but I know I can do it. I know I just sit there, watch a film and do it. There we go. Whiskey and weaving. Oh my goodness, I am so happy that all of you are taking this walk business so seriously. I mean, it's do you know what I mean? Some of you were like, "Oh, my path is a little bit bobbly, but that doesn't matter. It's just a bumpy path." And I'm like, how wonderful. And you're all looking for that fox. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it the levels I've put into this cal? It's not just crochet, right? It's the story, it's the fox, it's the bumpy path, it's the somebody even added a river. How lovely. So I just you're seeing more in it than I saw in it. And I just love the way you've taken the idea and gone with it, and collecting the leaves. And so next week we are collecting toadstools because we're making toadstools. So yeah, I mean, somebody just asked, Drenja, actually you can't tell. I really, really would like to know how many people are actually making this cal. I know, of course, how many packs I've sold, but there's so many other people who are doing it with their stash yarn, who are doing it with their own colors, and who are doing it with the same colors, but then from their own local shop, or from another online shop, wherever they get it from. So do you know what I mean? There's no way of telling. Plus like the ode to Anakal, people are still making it now. Never in a million years would I have thought that a pattern like that with stitches that my grandma used to make, that my grandma used to use, that I put together as a people are still making it. Can you believe that? I mean, it's just every time there's a picture on Facebook, I've made another ode to Anakal. Look, this is my ode to Anakal. It just, do you know what I mean? It's just so and now yeah, Sharon, exactly the way people are taking those stitches, transforming them into their own. Oh, Julie, it's just so lovely. I mean, and also hopefully, this walk will mean a similar thing to people, where you're sort of, yes, it's a color wash, sort of where the colors change slowly to a completely different color. But Christine, really? Oh my goodness. I'm speechless. Do you know what I mean? I am absolutely speechless at how... It's unbelievable, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Oh yes. Oh yes, there was one that your dog chewed, wasn't there? Oh dear, that was a disaster. Drama. Oh my goodness. No, Marla, there is no time limit whatsoever. All those videos will stay there. Also, they're in a playlist, so they are together. So you can do I think you can even bookmark the playlist, so you've got it, and then they'll always be there for you. So make sure, so that keeps all the things together. So these videos here now for this cal are in a playlist as well. So if you get, I don't know how you get into the playlist, you'll see that there's like 3, 4, 5 videos maybe, and there'll be more and more and more as they are released. So, it's just amazing, isn't it? So, there is no way of knowing who made the cal now as it's live. And there's no way of knowing how many people are going to repeat it again and again. I know, Trench. I think a lot of people are taking part, but of course, you don't know, do you? And there's also people who are not in the Facebook group. There's people who are not going to be posting in, or might be in the Facebook group but don't post in it, So, oh, thank you, Jed. Now, I do hope that I can give you, this is what I've been calling crochet me time, just sort of a little bit of, away from everything else, Yes, well, the thing is, you see, I have a box here, and I've told you this before. I have a box, and it's full of squares that my grandma made. But it's still just squares. So if I was to put them together, I would have a blanket. But yeah, putting them together is a bit emotional, So I'm hoping to be able to get started on that soon. And of course, I am going to be, taking you along in a video. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it's getting there. I'll be doing that soon. Thank you, Joni. Oh, hello, Juliet. How are you? A pat, it would be a good idea probably over Christmas. It would give me something to do. Yes, you do. You've made it. You've made your own Anna cal, and you've made your own Anna blanket, basically. Rafaela, I know. I don't have a project. I don't have a bed project. I don't have a project that I can just say, okay, there's a bag, let me just crochet. I don't. What I do have is a lot of projects for videos. So, all the things, all the ideas that are in my head, I've got them. Well, there's not that many at the moment because I'm, sort of looking at next year. So it's going. But do you know what I mean? I mainly am doing those things, and until I have an actual big thing that I can do, I don't have something that I can sit and crochet, because I'm always doing little bits for the videos. Yes, yeah, I'll do that soon. I'll put the yeah, but Rafaela, it's not that simple. I'm a bit emotional when I think about it. So I've got to, you know. Excuse me. I need a drink. These were the squares that she made during the year she passed away, and they were the last square she made, so she never finished the blanket. So I'm going to finish it for her. There's, I believe there are some balls of the color of the yarn in with the box. So I'm going to, you know, it's all good, but it's just, you know, I'll have to have the tissues ready, I think. Because once you start thinking about it all, you know. Oh dear. Anyway, darlings, look, I've nearly made a square. I don't know why I'm making this. Derek said, just make a square. Oh, so yeah, confessions of a crochetaholic. My main confession is I'm already thinking about next year, about the projects that we're going to do, about the cal for next year. And I have lots and lots of videos coming up before Christmas about the autumn walk cal, but of course some extras, and a big surprise, a third wearable. Stella, the problem is my mum's in Belgium, so I can't go and see her. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll just have to do it on my own. What I could do is not do a border. Yes, and then when I go and see my mum, I'll take it with me and I'll do a second installment of the video and get my mum to, you know, crochet the border. What do you think, mama? Ben je daar nog? Rachel doesn't crochet, Marilyn. I've given up all hope. I've given up all hope there. Oh my goodness. I've made a square. What can I do with it? Oh wow, Trench, how lovely. That's fabulous that you've been able to progress so much through my videos. Ah, oh, it's just wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, Joni, I think, you know, studying at the moment, you know, takes up a lot of time. So there we go. We'll see. We'll see. Next time she needs something. Actually, do you know what, Susanna? I was just thinking that if I do another round, I'll give it to Dirk to put his coffee mug on his desk. Oh my goodness, that would be funny, wouldn't it? He told me to make it, so mug rug. Oh, Bobby, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Of course, I keep them up indefinitely. Plus, also the pattern will be on the website as well. All, you know, for always, because it'll just be in the blog. So you'll just have to go and look for the pattern. And if you want to buy the pattern after the cal is finished, then it will be also for sale in my shop. So if you want to support me in that way, you can. Right, there we go. Here is Miss Layla. Ta-da! And we are going to say goodbye. Oh, look at her. Look at the cutie. Are you going to say goodbye to your fans? I've got the blanket here. Oh yes, she could, couldn't she? Send them over. No, I think I'll have her do the border, because that, she'll actually sort of be crocheting, won't she? So that's better. Right, come on, darling. Right, everyone, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for joining me tonight. I had a really nice time. I made a square. Bye, everyone. Bye. Careful, careful. What are you doing? What are you doing? See you next week. Leila. 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 She's not looking up. Oh, the keyboard is much more interesting for some reason. Oh, no, now she's doing that. Oh, okay. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Leave me a thumbs up before you go. Bye.